by myself for the afternoon. But if you would like to be here with me, then you can get in touch. You can text the studio today on 07411 191 062, or you can comment on any of the live streams on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. And I'm afraid the phone lines are unavailable because Shaz is going to be on it shortly. So we'll give him a chance to call in. This week on Wealth Made Simple, we are going back to and continuing our discussion on the power of positioning in business. We've spent the last couple of weeks going through this. Last week, I think we went down one or two rabbit holes. So we didn't get much covered, I don't think. I mean, I think it was all valuable stuff personally, but other than that, and that sounds like Shaz now. I shall just await a thumbs up and we shall say hello to the man, the myth, the legend that is.
Hello.
Shaz, are you there?
I'm here, Kieran. Hi.
Salam, how are you, brother?
Very good, thank you, sir. How are you?
All the better for hearing your voice.
Good. I'm all the better for hearing your voice.
It's been a busy week, hasn't it?
Chock-a-block, non-stop.
Do you know how to stop?
If I knew, I'd probably do it.
I don't think you would.
Yeah, I don't know how to stop, mate. No, that's fine. I've just realised this is just the way I'm wired, so just get used to it. Is the advice I gave to myself.
Yeah, but it's a life that I like.
Yeah, I think busy keeps you occupied, keeps you active, as long as you're busy doing the right stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I enjoy it, and you know, I've always said previously, if I stop enjoying it, then
you'll stop doing it.
Yeah, simple.
It's the only way to do it.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, the last couple of weeks on Wealth Made Simple, we've been discussing, and I just did a quick recap on the power of positioning and brand loyalty, differentiating yourself from your competitors, things like that. But I was I'll get my teeth in.
Teeth back in.
Yeah, stick my teeth back in. I was also saying that last week we actually went down a lot of rabbit holes to do with positioning, but
oh, it was us, was it? Okay.
Well, allegedly it was us.
You led me astray, you mean?
Yes, I will take responsibility for that. I led you astray because I always lead you astray. I am a terrible influence.
You're a very bad person. That's right.
Yeah, I am the one who'll say, I don't fancy cooking tonight, Shaz. Shall we go get something to eat? That sounds like me, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we got as far as discussing leverage and testimonials and differentiating between different marketing positions where you're positioning yourself in the market. And so we'll start off this week about how you position yourself against your competitors. Because for me personally, I think there are ways of positioning yourself with your competitors and alluding to the fact that you are better than them, but without tearing anyone else down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's different ways of seeing this, Kieran, and one of the best things any business owner can do is differentiate so much. So you're comparing apples to oranges, if that makes sense, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Because if everybody's a zebra and you're a zebra, you all look alike. Which isn't a problem, but it is a problem when you're trying to stand out to a potential client.
Yeah.
So you have to offer enough different options so that your customers, clients, patients want to do business with you over and above anybody else. That's a very different rabbit hole to positioning. So you can obviously bring me back in line. and we'll talk about positioning. But we might go down that rabbit hole in a very short while, if that's okay with you.
I would love to go down that rabbit hole. Because I enjoy a good rabbit hole. You know I do. Don't threaten me with a rabbit hole and then take it away. That's just mean.
No, it might be a badger hole in that case. No, but really, I think differentiation and standing out is the essence of positioning.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
This is kind of the most important sub point in the main heading of positioning is what makes you so different that people want to choose you over anybody else.
Yeah.
And there's so many different examples out there. For example, John Lewis never knowingly undersold, and when you buy their electrical goods back in the day, as you know, they gave you a longer warranty, and people appreciated that. And that's just one simple example. You had Richer Sounds, who's very, very different in terms of what they did. You have so many other people in the marketplace who said, if you find something that we're selling cheaper, not only are we going to match it, we'll do something extra for you. And that extra was anywhere from £50 to have something else, which made them so different that people said, we brought confidence and we're comfortable in buying from them.
Well, I mean,
that's how I'll use the word outrageous. You can call it loud, or you can call it something else. But that's how outrageous you have to be to differentiate yourself, to position your service, your product, your business in a very different way.
Well, I mean, let's go to the other end of the spectrum and talk about Netflix for a second. Where did they start?
Yeah. Right.
They started trying to compete with Blockbuster. Rent your movies from us. We will send them to you in the post, and you send them back at your leisure. And
even worse or better, depending on which side you're on, Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix and said, "This will never catch on."
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. And Netflix just kept doing what they were doing, and they're one of the biggest production houses in the world now.
And unfortunately, a four-letter word in the name Blockbuster became their fate.
Yeah, busted.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But Netflix position themselves so far apart from the competition that it wasn't fair to compare them. Because you don't think of Netflix like a Blockbuster, do you?
Yeah, and you know what, Kevin? It's so difficult because you and I are from that area where we used to walk into Blockbuster and rent a movie.
Oh, every year for my birthday. Every year. Parents used to take us in, pick a film. What film would you like?
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm going back to VHSs, but you know.
Yeah. I'm going back to the VHSs, which used to open from the top, not where you slide it in the front, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just so kind of a regular thing where on a weekend or whatever day somebody wants to watch a movie, you walk into Blockbuster. Now, to get people to change that habit and buy in a different way is a big thing because we're all creatures of habit, you know? So it's remarkable what they achieved.
Yeah. And now we're all so used to the subscription service model that if you take out the video element of Netflix, what Netflix really started was the reliance on subscription services.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like most other very successful businesses.
And now you subscribe to your phone, you subscribe to the internet, you subscribe to Netflix, to Amazon, to Paramount Plus. But you also subscribe to a monthly newsletter. You subscribe to, how many emails do you get where it says, unsubscribe, click here?
Yeah, and some of those, try and unsubscribe. Good luck, because I've tried it on some of them. You can't unsubscribe, you've got to go to 16 different pages to try and find...
find where to unsubscribe. Yeah, exactly. Because they don't want you to unsubscribe because they've got your details. And
that's right.
personal information is the currency. Your personal information is the currency of this world.
Exactly. But what Netflix offered over Blockbuster was, quite simply, you can sit at home.
Convenience.
And convenience, ease, simplicity. And that's what people wanted over what Blockbuster offered at the time.
But also, if you went to Blockbuster to get the latest new release, because, you and I both remember a time where, the next, superhero movie that came out or the big summer blockbuster came out at Blockbusters. And sometimes you could go and try and find that VHS and they just didn't have enough. They didn't have any left. So you had to wait till someone had finished watching it and come back in and drop theirs off and then hope you were there on time to get the next set when it came back. And it was effort. You had to make a conscious effort to be there on time.
Had that experience many a time, my friend. You're right. So Netflix obviously changed all that. So they positioned themselves very differently, even though one would think they were competing with Blockbuster, which they were, but really they weren't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's like you said earlier. When you think about Blockbuster and Netflix, you're comparing apples with oranges. They're not the same thing.
In many different ways, that's right. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. And part of what they did is, moving on to another point of how to position yourself and your business in with a methodology that will help you grow, is making sure that the content you are delivering has value. It's high value content. Because in today's society, it's really easy to shovel out lots of dross. But people will notice that real quick.
And today, Kieran, you see, you and I are from that era as a number of our listeners and viewers, where we were confined to a particular space, which was BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV.
I remember when the engineer came around to install Channel 5.
Channel 4 came along.
Yep, Channel 4 came along.
5 came along. And you were confined to that space. So we watched what was on TV most of the time, unless obviously we hired or rented a movie. And that's all you had. So you got to pick up 3, 4, and then later on, as you said, 5 channels, until obviously Sky came out. But even then, you had a limited number of channels. Today, you've got
hundreds
of thousands of
channels
just on YouTube. YouTube.
Yeah.
And then obviously all the other social media platforms. But to grab somebody's attention and to hold them there is not an easy thing. Because as you know, Kieran, people don't want to watch a 5-minute video. Really, they want the message in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I find really interesting. It's something that a lot of students, I think, miss when they first come out of education. And that is, in education, you are taught to write me a dissertation of 30,000 words and explain your points, in detail with all references and all the rest of that fun stuff that takes forever and a day to write. In the real world, boss, I've got a really good idea. Okay, you've got 30 seconds. Go. Okay, bored now. Move on. I ask for forgiveness for this because this is just my view, but education, by and large, is a great thing. I think, but the majority of the way it is formatted, not necessarily the content, but the way it is formatted, is purely to show potential employers that you can turn up somewhere, the same place, a number of years in a row, and succeed at given tasks to a recommended standard. So chances are that if they hire you, you're not going to screw their business up and you'll do mostly the same.
Yeah, I think just to be clear, you're talking about formal education, whether it's school, college, university, etc.
Yes, yeah.
Lifelong learning. And what's interesting is, as time goes on in one's journey, people pay less attention usually to your qualifications, and they pay more attention to your experience and what you've done.
Yes.
So today, when I'm looking at a CV, I don't really care to have an accounting degree or something else. What I care about is where have you worked, what have you done, and what did you contribute to that company, business, firm while you were there.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite questions to ask in interviews when I'm interviewing people is, it's not what did you do in your previous employment or what didn't you do or what, anything like, it's why are you leaving? Is it because of the way it's managed? Is it, because the majority of time people leave managers, they don't leave positions.
Yeah.
And the other one is, what value did you add to that company?
And that question is all about positioning.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Position yourself to behave differently to add value to your employer so that you become valuable and you become a resource as opposed to an expense.
Yeah. If I go to a manager and say, I would like a pay rise, I need to go there and go, I would like a pay rise because I have added this much revenue to your company this year by doing this, this, and this. This is the value I have added to your company. So I would like to be rewarded for that value. Please and thank you. And that's a completely different conversation to a boss, an entrepreneur, a businessman, to I want a pay rise because I've worked here for a year and done the bare minimum. You haven't fired me yet, so I deserve a pay rise, right? Two completely different mindsets. You came in, you did your job, you went home. Well, what value did you add?
Exactly, and it's that old saying that I sometimes quote. Some people have 1 year of experience repeated over 40 years or repeated 40 times.
Yes, yeah.
As opposed to having 40 years of experience, they've done different things. They've done the same thing year in, year out, and just do the minimum to obviously survive. But before we go down that particular rabbit hole, and we both get in trouble for saying something we shouldn't, let's go back to differentiation.
Yep. We can do that, and it is important to differentiate yourself, but it's important to differentiate yourself ethically. And I think it's if you look at Coca-Cola and Pepsi, if you look at the way they both position themselves as the most enjoyed drink, whether that's true or not is irrelevant, but there's only been it's an open rivalry, isn't it? We all know this. Everyone knows that they're battling for the top spot. But you very rarely, you hear Coke say, the original taste, the greatest taste. You hear Pepsi saying, Pepsi Max, maximum taste, no sugar. At no point do either company go, yeah, but we're great, they're rubbish. They just position themselves as the best. Does that make sense?
Of course it is. And, as you know, in my view, there's no competition, but I think you're trying to torment me, Kieran.
Yes, I am.
But we won't go down that particular rabbit hole. But you're right, and they appeal to different markets.
Yeah, they do.
So generally speaking, if you go into kind of South Asia,
yep,
Pepsi is big. In America, Pepsi and Coke are both big, and Coca-Cola is bigger in different markets compared to Pepsi, and even in Southeast Asia, Pepsi is big. So they've chosen their own market where they've created their own kind of niche, so to speak, where they're big. So India, Pakistan, for example, even the Philippines, Indonesia, so on and so forth, Pepsi is massive.
Oh, absolutely. It's
more
huge.
Pepsi. But I tell you what they've done. I'm not here to endorse their
either product
behavior, but they've involved themselves in the community.
Yes.
So they sponsor the big games, whether it's football, cricket, rugby, so on and so forth, whatever big games are played in a country. They get involved in education, they get involved in other initiatives that people care about. So they become part of them, and therefore,
Well, that's a position of you buy your product from us because we care about you.
Yeah.
That's the position they're going for.
And I think it's fair to say Pepsi have done that bit better than Coca-Cola.
Yeah. But again, and like you say, their positioning is one of, we are one of you, we are working with you, we want to support you, we want to help you. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And Coca-Cola position themselves as the best, and in a couple of weeks' time, when Christmas truly starts, because it'll start on TV first, you will see the advert, all those big red trucks driving down the road to the theme tune that they have used for years. And that's something that Pepsi don't even try and compete with that, because that's not their position.
And they're smart about it. Because why compete on that? Why not do something different?
Yeah. But neither of them, and this is the key point in both of their positionings, they get away with so much and they are given so much because neither of them attacks the other company. They just say they are the best.
That's the best way to do it.
And that I think is really important, because it's really easy to pick another company and, I want to differentiate myself from them, saying, I'm better than them and therefore they're rubbish. Okay, I'll hold your horses a second there, Pickle. If you're gonna start doing that, then people will start doing that to you.
I think the company that did that the best was Carlsberg.
Yeah. Probably the best beer in the world.
Yeah.
Probably.
If Carlsberg made X, it'll probably be the best. Yeah.
Yes.
And then they link that to what they're selling, and then that was marvelous, wasn't it?
Genius marketing. Yeah, they position themselves as probably the best. Keyword there, probably, because they're not guaranteeing anything. They're not making a claim they can't justify, or they can't. It's probably the best in the world. Well, what do you mean probably? Well, some people will think it's the best in the world, others won't. So it probably is to some people. Very, very clever positioning there.
It sticks, isn't it?
Yeah.
It stuck with people, and that's the important thing.
Yeah. And this is the thing. But with all of these companies that claim to be the best at whatever it is they do, Gillette, the best a man can get. They're not saying that there are no other razor blades on the market, but they are saying they are the best. They don't need to show themselves to compete. I mean, they are competing with other brands. You've got Wilkinson Sword, a very, very good brand.
They did so much to differentiate,
Yeah.
In their marketing, their advertising. It's just phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. And I think if anybody's really interested, and everybody should be, by the way, in how to differentiate, look at a company that came into the marketplace and disrupted the whole sector.
Yes.
That's differentiation in a very simple terms.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And I mean, disruptive entrepreneurs and disruptive businesses, shake the very foundation of how we shop, how we interact, how we use. Facebook was a disruptor when it started. Steve
Jobs was a disruptor.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, even they attempted in how he did things. It's just that at that point, that particular word wasn't associated with business. It obviously became more popular in the 90s and obviously in the noughties.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. It's, I mean, whether you agree with him or disagree, Elon Musk is a disruptor.
Oh, big time.
Massive disruptor. And and he will continue disrupting. I mean, I read online the other day that in 2027, if everything continues the way it is, that is and mid 2027, they estimate that he will become the first trillionaire.
Yep, I heard that too.
And that's terrifying when you think that 1 million seconds is 12 days. 1 billion seconds is 33 years. 1 trillion seconds is 33,000 years. Let that sink in. And while you ponder that, we're going to go to a quick break. And I hope to see you all after the break. And we will continue going down this rabbit hole of how to position yourself well in your business. Until then, take care and be back soon.
Peterborough's community radio station, Salam Radio, 106.2 FM.
At Master's Pharmacy, we put your health and convenience first. We offer free blood pressure checks and blister-packed medication. With our free same-day prescription delivery service, you can have your medication when you need it. We also offer travel vaccinations, including Hajj and Umrah, along with other services to meet all your pharmacy needs. For more information, contact Master's Pharmacy on 01733 567 208 or visit us at 303 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PH.
Satisfy your cravings at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant. Enjoy a tantalising variety of Chinese, Italian, Pakistani and comfort food favourites, from starters to desserts. Kids under 5 dine for free, so bring the whole family to our restaurant at 63 Sycamore Avenue. Open every day from 5pm to 10:30pm. Call us on 01733 313131 or book online to reserve your table. Ibrahimi-restaurant.co.uk. Every bite is a delight at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
2020 World Buffet is inspired by the best foods from around the world. See our teppanyaki chefs grill your food to order, or choose delicious Indian, Italian, Chinese, Mexican dishes and British favourites, all halal. 2020 World Buffet offers you unlimited food at a set price. Open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Catering, wedding and party services available too. Call 01733 566 320 or visit 2020buffet.co.uk. 2020 World Buffet, 35 New Road, Peterborough, PE1 1FJ.
Attention foodies! Discover a world of flavours at Pack Foods, the largest ethnic supermarket in Peterborough. Shop our vast selection of authentic ingredients from around the globe, including spices, marinated fish and meats, and exotic fruits at incredibly low prices. And the best part? We offer free parking. No more hunting for a spot. Come visit us today and explore the incredible range of flavours at Pack Foods, 232 Lincoln Road.
Craving authentic Desi flavors? Look no further than Desi Restaurant. From midday until 1 in the morning, enjoy our homemade specialties that will transport your taste buds. Indulge in tantalizing papri chaat and savor the rich chersi kadahi. Treat your friends to our fresh 1 kilogram chersi lamb handi. Plus, get 2 12-inch pizzas for $11.95. Located at 298 Lincoln Road, we deliver from lunchtime until 1 a.m. Call 01733 555 795 now to order and experience Desi Restaurant's flavors.
This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Salam, welcome back to the second half of Wealth Made Simple. I'm your host today, Kieran Bateman, and I am here, I believe, with...
Shaz Nawaz.
Oh, hi, Shaz.
Hi, Kieran.
Welcome back. Welcome back after the break. As always, we value your input. Shaz has given us his input. He's on the phone, so you can get in touch with us this week by texting on 07411 191 062, or you can comment on any of our live streams on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. And without further ado, we were talking on this week's Wealth Made Simple about the power of positioning. And we've just been discussing before the break about differentiation and why it's so important to differentiate yourself from your competitors. And I finished that by giving you erroneous information, so I am going to correct myself. 1 trillion seconds is 31,709 years.
Wow.
Yep. That is, so when you put it in seconds, you know, just to go back, Elon Musk in 2027 is allegedly going to become the first trillionaire. 1 million seconds is 12 days. A billion seconds is 33 years. And 1 trillion seconds is 31,709 years.
Long time, Kieran.
Well, that's a lot of money.
It is indeed.
You know, arguably, I am closer to being a millionaire than Elon Musk.
Yes, you are.
He would have to lose a whole boatload of cash. I don't think it's possible for him to fail at this stage, is it? I mean, he's just got that much wealth that it doesn't matter if it fails. It just isn't possible, is it? Because he can just pump as much money as he needs into it.
He's bankable, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a brand in himself.
Yes.
Like Richard Branson and many others.
Yes, yeah. And you might think we're going down a rabbit hole here, but we're not. This is still all about positioning. Because Richard Branson has positioned himself very, very well. He always will do. Elon Musk has chosen his position. And they have positioned themselves in such a manner that has got partially their name is their brand.
Because they did things differently. I mean, do you remember that advert by Apple? Think different.
Yes.
It should have been think differently in England or the UK, but it was think different. And they paid tribute to a number of people, including Richard Branson, because he did things differently, didn't he?
Yeah.
In everything he did.
And one of my favourite things that Richard Branson has ever said about business is train your staff well enough so they can go anywhere they want. Treat them well enough so they never want to.
Never a truer word spoken.
And it is true, but there are so many companies out there who don't value their employees as much as they should, and they wonder why they've got such a high staff turnover rate. And
yep, too much time, yeah.
Yeah, and they're sat there going, no, it's all about our profits. It's all about our profits. No, you're replaceable. Go on, leave. We'll get someone else in. Somebody else will do your job. It's fine. Leave. And it's really impersonal. And even if those companies succeed purely because of their size, it is always cheaper to retain a member of staff than it is to hire a new one.
100%.
If your company ever says to you, we can't afford to give you a pay rise, well, okay, if you can't afford to give me a pay rise, you can't afford to replace me. Because although it comes out of two different pots a lot of the time, you've got marketing costs to market the job. You've got the hiring costs. You've got the lost revenue of training the replacement while they're not as good as the person you've already got there. And generally, for the sake of £1,000 or £2,000 a year, it's worth giving someone a pay rise, in my opinion, providing that they add value to your company.
It's even easier, Kevin, isn't it? You come to me, for example, and say, or I come to you and say, Kevin, you're my boss. I think I deserve a £2,000 pay rise because I've done A, B, and C. Just Shaz, I can see that. A, B, and C is worth £1,000 to me. Forget £2,000. I'll give you £3,000 if you do D, E, and F.
Yeah.
Do it for the next 6 months or the next 6 months. When you do it, you can have a £3,000 pay rise.
Exactly. You incentivize your staff.
Tell people what they need to do. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Come back to differentiation. Do you have any tips, tricks, and that people can implement to differentiate?
Yeah. So when you want to define yourself or define your differences, speak to people, get feedback, learn what other people are doing, do your research, and when the masses are doing one thing, do the opposite. In general, that's how you start to differentiate yourself. Differentiate yourself by, and we all know this. We've all got, well, I hope we've all got friends, but you've all got friends that complain about their job. Now, when they complain about their job, are they complaining about the job itself or about the people? And listen carefully to that, because in some places, the culture is do the bare minimum. Why? Because if you don't do the bare minimum, as soon as you finished your work, you don't get rewarded, or you do. You get rewarded with more work. And that's it. And then it just becomes expected. And people will complain about, my boss gave me more work to do today. So, okay, you're not complaining about the work. You're complaining about your boss and what they did. And what's your boss doing? They're lazy. They're doing nothing. They pass all their work on to me. Okay, once again, we're talking about the person, not the... And that's how you start to differentiate yourself. Listen to what other people are complaining about and rectify it. Fix it. Don't do it. If you've got an open door policy, make sure it's an open door policy. If somebody comes to me because I've got an open door policy and says, I feel this is a problem within the business, okay, great. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you. I'm not going to reward them for that necessarily unless it's a big thing and it changes the way we do business and it grants revenue. But I am going to thank them because they've seen something that I haven't. And suddenly they're going to feel more confident coming to me with problems so I can then fix them, so we can move forward. And as we have said so many times on this show, if you all move forwards together, you're all pointing in the same direction, you all have the same goal, you're all aligned, a rising tide raises all ships, not just the one you're on. So if I start doing better, my team start doing better. If my team start doing better, the company starts doing better. If the company starts doing better, I do better. If I do better, the team does. And it all goes up. That is how I would start to differentiate myself. What about you, Shaz?
Well, I think it partly, obviously, and you made some really good points there. It depends on the particular industry one is in. So there was a guy called Jan Carlson who was the CEO of Scandinavian Airlines.
Yes.
Which is pretty much a loss-making airline. And he changed a few things. Two of the things that he changed was every plane should take off on time. If it doesn't, the pilot needs to call me directly, and they had thousands of employees, by the way, and explain why. Number two, luggage must not be lost. Because he very quickly realized that passengers hate when a plane takes off late, and they hate their luggage being lost.
Yes.
So he fixed those two things. There were, I think, three things in total. I can't recall the third thing. But those two he fixed, and within a couple of years, it became one of the best airlines on the European continent. So it's partly where are the pain points, where's the friction, and every now and then we all like to have a bit of a moan about who we spend money with and how we don't get value. But listen to what people are saying and fix those things.
Yes.
And usually, I think offer a money back guarantee. We all can't offer a money back guarantee. Everybody will ask for that. Well, Kieran, if you had a call from a client or a customer or a patient that I'm really unhappy with your service or what you're selling, I want my money back for X, Y, Z reason, would you reimburse them?
Yes.
I would. Well, why not just?
I have faith in my product.
Yeah, but you offer a money back guarantee. Number two, offer multiple ways for them to make payments to you.
Yeah.
With different people pay differently. Offer a better, higher customer service. Because most people value that. Give them a named contact they can speak to. Offer 1, 2, or 3 things which are low cost to you but high perceived value to the customer, and bundle them in, add them in.
Yeah, and I mean, with regards to the money back guarantee, if you're saying to me, I can't offer a money back guarantee because everybody will want their money back, that says to me you've got a bad product.
Yeah, it's just inbuilt fear.
If you have faith in your product and you know your product is good and you know what you do is good, offer a money back guarantee, because actually, what you're not saying, I want to give everyone their money back. What you're saying is, I have absolute faith in what I do, that I can afford to do this because I'm not worried that you're going to want your money back. And I'll give you 2 examples from 2 companies that I've worked with. One is a beauty company, and they do a product that works around the eyes. I don't quite understand it. I don't use it myself. But they do pop-up stands, and the deal is, try this product. If it doesn't do what we say it's going to do, we'll give you the cost of the product in cash. If it does what we say it's going to do to you or for you, you keep the product. Do you know how many times they've had to put their hand in the pocket and give out cash?
A very low number of times.
Never.
Oh, there you go.
They have never had to part with any cash. That's faith in your product, because they know what they're promising, and they are under-promising and over-delivering on their product, and therefore they've never given... people have walked away with free samples of their products, don't get me wrong, and that's at their cost. So they're still paying for it, but they've not had to give cash out. And the other company is a company that I pay a subscription to. And they made a delivery. The delivery went to my next door neighbour. My next door neighbour wasn't in. Nobody put, the delivery man, for whatever reason, didn't put anything through my door to tell me where my delivery was. So I contacted them. It says delivered, but I don't have the delivery. I've got no note to say it's been left behind the bin, or it's been left, in the cupboard, or it's been left with nothing like that. And their customer service was so exceptionally good that their response to the entire thing was, okay, sir, no problem. We will get another one sent out to you today. The next one arrived.
Peterborough's community radio station, Salam Radio, 106.2 FM.
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Maghrib Azan. This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
Salam and welcome back to part 3 of Wealth Made Simple. I'm your host, Kieran Bateman, and I am here with
Shaz Nawaz,
the man, the myth, the legend that is. And just before the break, I was telling you about a company that's customer service has positioned themselves in. They don't actually mind just sending out new product, and they even refunded me half of that package, the value of that package. Now, to me, as a customer, that meant so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm in business. I know the cost of what it actually cost them to do that, and on their balance books, it's not much, because the trade-off is that customer service is so strong. 3 years after the event, I'm still talking about it. I'm still telling people about that company. I'm still encouraging people to join up with that company. So I've probably made them 10, 15, 20, maybe 50 times the amount it cost them to keep me happy in revenue from other customers. And that's the power of positioning.
So basically,
yeah. You might take a small loss now, but for a greater gain in the future if you position yourself correctly.
absolutely.
Yeah, and like I say, that's how strong positioning can be. So moving down our list of, I've got many pages here, people. So This is going to take a while. No, I'm joking. Is we've talked about leveraging your social media presence, and we discussed that a lot when we were talking about leverage. So I advise anyone who hasn't heard that to go back and listen to that. But if you're leveraging your social media presence, the benefit of that in positioning is you're adding another string to the bow. You're not just a one-dimensional entrepreneur who somebody met just by chance. You're now an entrepreneur. You're now an online presence that people can contact you through, that you can demonstrate your expertise in. You can position yourself as a leader of whichever space you're in by doing those things. And all it takes for things like that is a bit of time and consistency. Just do it consistently. And I know Shaz has his views on social media and on having an online presence, but I think in this day and age, if you don't have an online presence as a business, you are going to struggle.
100%. Social media is obviously a huge distribution channel to obviously share information. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again because I'm very comfortable in saying it. When I'm speaking on stage, I'm reasonably okay. When I'm on camera, I'm not reasonably okay. But the majority of people aren't going to judge you how good you are on camera. They're going to judge you on what value you're adding when they're listening to you or watching you on YouTube or any other channel in terms of face to camera. And so I think a lot of people get hung up, I'm not really good on camera, I don't like it. Just get out of your own way. Just do it. Because it's the old adage, know, like and trust. People need to get to know you first. They need to like you. And they need to trust you. And not everybody wants to get to know you. And not everybody's going to like you. And not everybody's going to trust you, but that's fine. You're not for everybody. And we've obviously talked about this previously when we talked about ideal client profile or avatar. And when you're sharing information, people get an insight into you. Because as you're speaking to them through, obviously, a video, you're sharing stories about yourself, your family, about who you are, what you do, what your values are. And people who resonate with that will follow you and will at some point in the near future buy from you as well. So why not do it? I mean, think about it, Kieran. If you and I wanted to put a 30-second ad on a TV channel, that would cost us a huge amount of money.
For a single day in prime time, it's in the thousands.
Yeah, that's right. And doing it for a single day usually is a bad idea because
it's not enough.
But today you can do that by having a video on YouTube.
Yes.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It's just mad. To do a radio ad would cost you a lot of money. Today you can do a podcast. And just find a way of distributing it, and there you go.
Yeah, and all of these things are free to do. They're free to start. All they take is your time. And that's the thing with all of this. But by adding these things, you are adding strings to your bow for people to get to know you, to get to understand you, to get to like you. There are some people out there, large YouTubers who have a following of people that like them, and people follow them because they like them. Once you are big enough and you have a big enough following, people then start following you because they don't like you. And that's when you know you're doing it right, in my opinion, because they want to know what you're going to do next. They want to be able to criticize what you're going to do. They want to try and... The second you start getting haters, thank them.
Exactly. And it's not even about being liked.
No, it's not.
It's not being respected. I don't like that person, but I respect their opinion because when they explain it, even though I may not agree with them all the time, they justify it, they back it up with evidence, and they make a good point. Now, I have a very different viewpoint, but they have a smart way of putting forward their own viewpoint. And think about it. When you talk about Elon Musk, you can talk about Alan Sugar, you can talk about Richard Branson, you can talk about Dyson, you can talk about Buffett, you can talk about Bezos, or you can talk about whoever, Gates, whoever you like. We know Steve Jobs. We know a lot about their person.
Yeah, we do.
Married, not married, where they're from, where they were born,
all of that
parents,
stuff.
parents,
And this is the thing, and that position is important. And on that note, we're going to have to say goodbye, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Goodbye for now.
Find us on Facebook.